Welcome to this product training program on Ferno's POWERFlexx powered cot. Before using any Ferno equipment, you should have a working knowledge of emergency and non-emergency patient handling procedures and have the ability to assist the patient. The information in this video is not a substitute for the product user's manual. All users should read and understand the user's manual and be completely familiar with the material in it. Practice with the product before using it with a patient. Medical advice is beyond the parameters of this presentation, and it's your responsibility to ensure safe practices for the patient, as well as for yourself and your partner. A minimum of 2 trained operators are required. They should work together and maintain control of the product at all times. Follow standard emergency and non-emergency patient handling procedures, and don't deviate from any local protocols, regardless of the information in this video or in the user's manual. Lift only the weight you can safely handle, and use additional help when working with heavy loads. Be mindful of proper lifting techniques. Stay with the patient at all times, and always use patient restraints when operating the equipment. Also, make sure you understand the principles of safe patient transportation. Rolling the cot sideways, or when it's in the loading height, can cause it to tip and injure the patient or operators. Roll the cot only in a level position with either its head end or foot end first. Observe your environment. Remove any ice, snow, mud, or other debris from the product or path of patient and equipment transportation. Verify that all parts are working as intended at the start of your shift, including batteries if applicable. Report any unsatisfactory situations to your supervisor immediately. Welcome to the Ferno POWERFlexx powered cot. The POWERFlexx cot makes your job easier by doing the heavy lifting for you. It lifts up to 700 pounds unassisted to an ambulance maximum loading height of 33 inches. While in the folded or lowest position, and in manual mode, the POWERFlexx cot can transport up to 1,000 pounds. There are 4 different configurations of the POWERFlexx cot for use with different fasteners and charging systems. Check the user's manual to identify your specific configuration. Your maintenance department should have properly installed the cot fastener and safety hook to the ambulance floor. Details on these steps are available by contacting Ferno. Prepare the cot for use by fastening the mattress to the backrest. Raise the backrest and feed each hook on the standard mattress through a hole in the patient's surface, or press the hook and loop surfaces together if you've chosen the mattress with that option. To remove the mattress, slide your hand under the mattress and apply upward pressure while removing each hook from the patient's surface with your other hand. You can separate the hook and loop fastening strips if you selected that option. Attach the restraints and any accessories that were ordered for the cot. Some of the more popular additions are the telescoping side handles, which are useful when using extra people to lift heavy patients, an IV pole, and the soft net for drop frame storage. The pack rack is ideal for holding an assortment of equipment. The transfer board is useful in safely moving patients onto the cot, and there's even a storage space for the board and an optional mattress. A complete list of accessories is available in the user's manual or at www.ferno.com/powerflex. The backrest elevates the patient's torso for comfort and medical necessity. To raise or lower the patient's upper torso, press the red control handle toward the backrest to unlock it, and then raise or lower the backrest to the desired position. Release the control handle to lock the backrest in place. The backrest movement is controlled. The gas spring is under pressure to ease raising and lowering. When a heavy patient's on the cot, support the patient's weight before adjusting the backrest. When a light patient is on the cot, control the upward movement of the backrest so it does not move too quickly. The POWERFlexx features a drop frame at the head end of the cot to make lifting and maneuvering easier. You can adjust the frame to one of 5 different positions. Normally, the frame will be in the level position and should be in this position to load and unload the cot from the ambulance. Adjust the frame by squeezing the release bar. Raise it up 1 notch or down 1 notch to provide the best ergonomic lifting angle based on your own height. The frame will lock into position. Drop or raise the frame 1 or more notches to shorten the cot's length for better maneuvering when space is limited. Note that when the drop frame is at its lowest position, it does not lock into place. When raised to the top position, the frame will lock into place, making it safer for you to use when helping guide the direction of the cot while moving the cot. Swing down sidearms are standard on the POWERFlexx cot to aid in patient security and comfort. The sidearms adjust to 3 positions: up, intermediate, and down. To adjust, squeeze the red release handle. Let go of the handle before midway down to allow it to lock into the intermediate position. This position is useful for supporting a patient's arm for treatment or for starting an IV. Keep the sidearms raised except during a patient transfer. Universal sidearms are also available as an option. Like swing-down style sidearms, universal sidearms also fold flat along the cot mainframe. A wheel lock is mounted in 2 of the transport wheels, one at each end of the cot where it's accessible to the operator's right foot. Using your foot, simply press the lock lever with your toe to engage the lock and lift it to release the lock. Wheel locks are not brakes. Make sure you remain with the cot and keep control of it at all times. Don't leave the cot or patient unattended. To treat shock or for patient comfort, elevate the shock frame. At the foot end, use both hands to grasp the shock frame and raise it into position until it locks. To lower the frame, lift it a bit to support the weight, and then press the shock frame control levers. Support the weight as you lower it to its normal position. Below the shock frame, there's an adjustable foot end lift bar. This feature allows you to adjust the bar to multiple levels to suit your height and to maintain good ergonomic practices. To adjust, press the center of the 2 hinge buttons and then rotate the lift bar to a new locking position. The lead handle is attached to the foot end lift bar. Use it when on flat surfaces to pull the cot when it's in the rolling height or transport range. The POWERFlexx cot is raised and lowered by an electro-hydraulic actuator, which is affixed to the lower frame of the cot. The actuator is driven by the power pack, which contains 2 sealed rechargeable 24-volt DC batteries. The memory-free batteries charge in about 1 to 2 hours and provide for about 50 powered cycles before recharging is needed. Actual cycles will be impacted by extreme temperatures and patient weight. The battery should be charged often to keep the cot ready for use. The power pack fits just under the backrest. Make sure the power switch to the unit is off before attaching the battery. Raise the backrest halfway and slide the power pack into position with the ports facing the foot end of the cot. Connect the actuator cable and control cables to the ports accordingly. The cable should be routed over the X-frame cross tube and under the lift axle. Connect the control cable to the power port. Finally, verify that the unused control port is capped. Don't use the power pack unless the unused port is capped. If you're using the ICS or BCS, you'll need to connect the cot side cable to the 24-volt DC charging port on top of the power pack. Turn the power switch on and press the touchpad once to activate the system. Press it a second time to move the cot up or down to verify that the system is functioning properly. To disconnect the power pack, simply reverse the connect procedures. The POWERFlexx control panel is located on the foot and lift bar. Turn the power switch on to use the cot in the powered mode. Turn it off to conserve power and to prevent accidental activation of the hydraulic system. A green light on the switch is lit when the switch is set to on. After 2 minutes of non-use, the light will turn off and the cot will enter the sleep mode. When sleeping, awaken the cot by simply touching either touchpad once and then again to raise or lower the unit. The battery gauge is located on the upper left-hand side of the panel and shows the remaining charge in the power pack. When the cot is awake and not attached to any charging system, the system will scan the batteries for 30 seconds to assess the level of charge. During the scan, the LEDs on the gauge cycle sequentially back and forth. When complete, the gauge will show the appropriate power level of the batteries. The gauge display is a set of 10 LED lights. With a full charge, the light to the far right, number 10, is lit. As the charge in the batteries is used, the gauge tracks from the right to the left, with the far left LED, number 1, indicating that no charge remains. When the gauge reaches LED number 2, it flashes as a warning that the charge is low. Should the gauge reach empty, LED lights 1 and 2 will flash alternately, and power to the actuator will be shut off. Refer to the POWERFlexx User's Manual for more information on the power pack and various charging systems that may be used. To transfer a patient onto the POWERFlexx cot, unfasten and position the restraints so they will not interfere. Lower the sidearms and place the cot beside the patient at his or her level and engage the wheel locks. Transfer the patient onto the cot using approved EMS procedures and following your local protocols. Raise the sidearms, adjust the backrest and shock frame as needed, and fasten and adjust the patient restraints. After releasing the wheel locks, verify the sheets and other articles are positioned where they won't interfere with the cot operation. Place the cot in a rolling height which is about 12 to 30 inches above the ground. Never roll the cot at its highest or loading level. This can increase the chance that the cot could become unbalanced and tip. Roll the cot on smooth, unobstructed surfaces whenever possible. Lift the cot slightly to cross door sills and other low obstructions so the wheels roll smoothly over them. Lift and carry the cot over high obstacles such as curbs. Don't apply downward force on one end of the cot in order to raise the other end of the cot. And never roll the cot sideways. When adjusting the height of the cot, an operator should be at each end and should work with their partner to maintain control of the cot at all times. Always be prepared to help raise or lower the cot if needed. Adjust the drop frame or the foot end lift frame to suit your height. If necessary, you may wish to use 2 different lifting positions in the manual mode in order to use proper ergonomic lifting techniques. In the powered mode, use an underhand grip to grasp the mainframe. The foot end operator should press the appropriate button to raise or lower the cot until it reaches the desired height. Any part of the blue or green colored area on the touchpad may be used to operate the cot. Position your hands to comfortably grasp the cot frame so that the touchpad is accessible to your thumbs. The left or blue touchpad will lower the cot, or place it in the load-ready position by retracting the undercarriage. The right or green touchpad is used to raise the cot or extend the undercarriage to the unload position. To load a patient on a POWERFlexx cot into the ambulance, raise the vehicle's folding bumper if it has one. Raise the cot to its loading height, which is a high angled position with the head higher than the foot. Roll the cot forward until both loading wheels are on the patient compartment floor. Make sure the safety bar is past the yellow hook for Model 175 compatible cots, or that the head-end loading post passes the safety stop on the Stat Trac if you're using that model. With both operators at the foot end of the cot, lift and hold the foot end level with the ambulance floor. Push the blue touchpad to completely raise the undercarriage. Push the cot into the ambulance and secure it with the cot fastener. As a final step, turn the cot power switch off. If the vehicle is powered down, you'll need to turn the inverter or generator on to charge the cot power pack. If you're using the BCS charging system, connect the charging cables. If the batteries are being charged, you should see a lit charging indicator light on the power pack. To unload a patient on the POWERFlexx cot from the ambulance, raise the vehicle's folding bumper if it has one, and release the cot from the cot fastener. With both operators at the foot end position, pull the cot out until the safety hook or the safety stop catches. Keep the cot raised and level with the ambulance floor as you move it out. Press the green touchpad to extend the undercarriage until the wheels touch the ground and the cot is high enough to be released from the safety hook or stop. The assisting operator should then move to the head of the cot and use the fastener release lever to release the cot from the safety hook. If you're using a Stat Trac, use the fastener release handle to release the cot from the safety stop. At that point, roll the cot completely out of the ambulance. As the cot is being moved away from the vehicle, lower it to a rolling height by pressing the blue touchpad. The POWERFlexx cot is an extremely useful tool when transporting bariatric patients. The 700-pound lifting capacity covers a vast majority of your patients. When that's just not enough, you can move up to 1,000 pounds when the cot's at its lowest position and it's configured with Ferno bariatric equipment. Additional patient restraints, restraint extenders, or longer patient restraints should be used. Ferno's large body surface, LBS, or LBS Junior, and accessories provide a wider bed surface and patient restraint extenders to more easily and safely transport an extremely wide patient. For additional bariatric information, see the POWERFlexx User's Manual. Should you encounter a power loss for any reason that you can't resolve right away, use the POWERFlexx in the manual mode. With operators at the head and foot position, the head operator should locate the yellow retaining lever just below the green touchpad on the right side of the control panel. The yellow lever protects the manual mode control handle from being activated accidentally. It must be lifted to reveal the red manual mode control handle before using the cot in manual mode. Verify that all operators and helpers are holding the weight of the patient and cot before proceeding. Then, pull the red control handle to raise or lower the cot. Release the control handle to allow the undercarriage to lock. The cot movement in manual mode can be surprisingly rapid. The distance you pull the control handle determines the speed at which you can manually raise and lower the undercarriage. Use light pressure and pull the control handle only a short distance to guide the cot through a slow descent. For rapid movement, Pull the control handle fully. The rate of descent will accelerate as the cot nears the folded position. Relax your grasp on the control handle as you near the folded position. When loading and unloading the cot in manual mode, it will be necessary for an operator to assist in the raising and lowering of the undercarriage while the foot operator pulls the red manual mode control handle. The pistons will allow the cot to settle slightly after manual mode is used. However, this distance should be just a few inches. If settling is more than that, consult the user's manual for corrective action. Thanks for watching this training video for the Ferno POWERFlexx powered cot. With the knowledge you've gained from watching this presentation, you should be capable of safely operating the unit. Remember, practice with the cot before using it with a patient. If you have any questions, contact Ferno by visiting us at www.fernoems.com.